जय राधा गोपी जन वल्लभा गिरिवरदारी जय गोपी जन वल्लभा यशोदानंदन ब्रज जनार्दन यमुना तीरावनचारि यमुना तीरावनचारि यमुना तीरा हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम हरे 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 राम 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 ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपकथा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सगरघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवम् साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्ण चैतन्य देवं श्री राधा कृष्ण पादान सहगण ललिता श्री विशाखान्वितांश्च। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगतपते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिय। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। मुखं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुं नितानं परमानन्दमानं श्रीचैतन्य ईश्वरम्। So we're reading from Canto 4, Chapter 8, text number 45. So, yeah, correct. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. प्रसादाविमुखं शश्वत्
प्रसादाभिमुखं शश्वत्
प्रसादाभिमुखं शश्वत्
प्रसादाभिमुखं शश्वत्
प्रसन्ना वदने क्षणम्
प्रसन्नावदने क्षणम्
प्रसन्ना वदने क्षणम्
प्रसन्नावदने क्षणम्
सुनासं सुभ्रुवं चारु
सुनासं सुभ्रुवं चारु
सुनासं सुभ्रुवं चारु
सुनासं सुभ्रुवं चारु
कपोलं सुरसुन्दरम्
कपोलं सुरसुन्दरम्
कपोलं सुरसुन्दरम्
कपोलं सुरसुन्दरम्
प्रसादाभिमुखं शाश्वत्
प्रसादाभिमुखं शश्वत्
प्रसन्ना वदने क्षणम्
प्रसन्नावदने क्षणम्
सुनासं सुभ्रुवं चारु
सुनासं सुभ्रुवं चारु
कपोलं सुरसुन्दरम्
कपोलं सुरसुन्दरम्
प्रसादाभिमुखं शश्वत्
प्रसादाभिमुखं शश्वत्
प्रसन्ना वदने क्षणम्
प्रसन्नावदने क्षणम्
सुनासं सुभ्रुवं चारु
सुनासं सुभ्रुवं चारु
कपोलं सुरसुन्दरम्
कपोलं सुरसुन्दरम् प्रसादाभिमुखं शश्वत्
प्रसादाभिमुखं शाश्वत्
प्रसन्नावदने क्षणम्
प्रसन्ना वदने क्षणम्
सुनासं सुभ्रुवं चारु
सुनासं सुभ्रुवं चारु
कपोलं सुरसुन्दरम्
कपोलं सुरसुन्दरम्
प्रसादाभिमुखं शाश्वत्
प्रसादाभिमुखं शाश्वत्
प्रसन्नावदने क्षणम्
प्रसन्ना वदने क्षणम्
सुभ्रुवं चारु
सुनासं सुभ्रुवं चारु
कपोलं सुरसुन्दरम्
कपोलं सुरसुन्दरम् Mataji. प्रसादाभिमुखं शश्वत् प्रसन्नवदने क्षणम् सुनासं सुभ्रुवं चारु प्रसादाभिमुखं शश्वत् प्रसन्नवदने क्षणम् सुनासं सुभ्रुवं चारु कपोलं सुरसुन्दरम् Prasada abhimukham, always prepared to offer causeless mercy. Shashwat, always. Prasanna, pleasing. Vadana, mouth. Ikshanam, vision. Sunasam, very nicely constructed nose. Subhruvam, very nicely decorated eyebrows. Charu, beautiful. Kapolam, forehead. Sura, the demigods. Sundaram, good looking. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada. The form of the Lord is described herein. The Lord's face is perpetually very beautiful and pleasing in attitude. To the devotees who see Him, He appears never to be displeased, and He is always prepared to award benedictions to them. His eyes, His nicely decorated eyebrows, His raised nose and His broad forehead are all very beautiful. He is more beautiful than all the demigods. Purport by Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. This verse clearly explains how one has to meditate on the form of the Lord. Impersonal meditation is a bogus invention of modern days. In none of the Vedic literatures is impersonal meditation recommended. In Bhagavad Gita, when meditation is recommended, the word matpara, which means pertaining to me, is used. Any Vishnu form pertains to Lord Krishna because Lord Krishna is the original Vishnu form. Sometimes someone tries to meditate upon the impersonal Brahman, which is described in Bhagavad Gita as avyakta, meaning unmanifested or impersonal. But it is remarked by the Lord Himself that those who are attached to this impersonal feature of the Lord suffer a very troublesome task because no one can concentrate on the impersonal feature. One has to concentrate on the form of the Lord, which is described here in connection with Dhruva Maharaj's meditation. As will be apparent from later descriptions, Dhruva Maharaj perfected this kind of meditation and his yoga was successful. Om Jnana Timirandasya Gananshana Shalakaya Chakshuramitam Tasmai Vanchakalpatarubhyasya Kripasindhubhyo cha Patarampanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. So I seek the blessings of all the devotees who are like desire trees full of compassion for the fallen conditioned souls. Hare Krishna. I have no qualification or any realization, but try to speak something. So yesterday, Sri Bhavadacharya was mentioning very wonderfully what is the meaning of samadhi. Because there are different levels of samadhi, different levels of absorption according to the advancement of the devotee. And of course, the ultimate samadhi that everyone wants to attain in this Krishna conscious movement is when one can see the Lord and one can see oneself, which means one can understand and act in one's eternal constitutional position, either as father or mother of the Lord, as a friend of the Lord, or as lover. So that is the goal of every person in this Krishna consciousness movement. So I'll just read the translations, very wonderful, very beautiful. The Lord's face is perpetually very beautiful and pleasing in attitude. To the devotees who see him, he appears never to be displeased, and he is always prepared to award benediction to them. His eyes, his nicely decorated eyebrows, his raised nose, and his broad forehead are all very beautiful. He is more beautiful than all the demigods. So, this translation is speaking about the beauty of the Lord, how the Lord is very, very beautiful. And to perceive the beauty of the Lord, it requires the mercy of a pure devotee. It's like so many examples are there in Chaitanya Charitamrita that Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's advent is coming up. Mahaprabhu, he added or he invoked or he gave this holy name Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram. He gave this holy name a very special, he added a very special mood or mellow to the holy name, which was not given before. Before this yuga, before Mahaprabhu came, yes, the holy name was known, but the fruit of chanting was not Braja Prem. The fruit of chanting was liberation. It's like Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Mokshana, that one will be liberated, one will be free from all sinful reactions. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave this benediction that by chanting one will awaken love of Godhead. Anarpita charat karunaya vatirna kalu samapritam unnatojjala rasam swabhakti shriyam. So swabhakti shriyam, this most exalted, most intimate love of Godhead that Krishna himself wanted to taste. Krishna is the Supreme Lord and he is all knowing. But Krishna wanted to taste the sweetness, the exalted position of his own, his greatest devotee, Srimati Radharani. So Krishna, in order to taste that, he actually, for the fallen conditioned souls, uh, he made this arrangement of um, appearing as Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And by worshipping Lord Chaitanya, Lord Nityananda, one will get something that is impossible to get by worshipping any other form of the Lord. Because Krishna himself does not directly give prema. Krishna's devotee gives prema, gives love of Godhead. So Krishna, taking the mood of Sri Radha, appeared as Lord Chaitanya. So only by the mercy of previous acharyas, mercy of Gaurnitai, can we understand, can we experience the beauty of the Lord? Because the beauty of the Lord can only be perceived when one has that mood, when one has certain mood in the heart, and that mood cannot be artificially created. It cannot be a mental imposition on the mind. No, it has to be awarded. It has to be awarded. So many wonderful benedictions are there in Chaitanya Charitamrita by worshipping Lord Chaitanya, by praying to Lord Chaitanya, by meditating on the pastimes of Lord Chaitanya, by observing the qualities. Like, yes, Krishna enacted his pastimes. Many times Krishna actually displayed his beauty in, of course, in Vrindavan. So many different circumstances, Krishna displayed his beauty, his qualities. However, in order to understand, in order to appreciate, it requires devotion, it requires certain level of qualification. Premanjana bhakti vilochanena santa sadeva hridayeshu vilokayati. Those persons who have that ability, who have that qualification, they can appreciate that. But those persons who don't have, they cannot appreciate. But in case of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he made himself available to the non-devotees. Like one day, His Grace Prabhu was saying one pastime that how Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Nityananda Prabhu, in their youth, they went to the house of a Shakta sannyasi. He had a wife and he was, intoxicated, he was drinking. So he was very much attracted by Lord Chaitanya and Lord Nityananda. He invited them and so attracted, he said, "Can I feed you?" He said, "Sure." And Mahaprabhu, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, was ate from the hand of the Shakta sannyasi. And then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was, "Who is that lady?" Nityan said, "He's his wife's wife." And then after that, this Shakta sannyasi was very much became very compassionate about Lord Chaitanya. And he said that, can I serve you some bliss? And then Lord Chaitanya said, what is that? Nityananda said, my Lord, that's intoxication. He said, and then as soon as Lord Chaitanya heard, of course, there are different versions. As soon as Mahaprabhu heard, Mahaprabhu just, with all his clothes, went and jumped in Ganga saying, Vishnu, Vishnu, Vishnu. So, I mean, it's quite incredible. So, this is Mahaprabhu's mercy, this incredible mercy. So, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is very, very merciful. Another extraordinary pastime of how Mahaprabhu became so merciful is whenever Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would just hear the name Krishna, when he would chant the name Krishna, Mahaprabhu would become completely absorbed in his identity as Srimati Radharani, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would completely lose himself. And wherever Mahaprabhu, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would engage in Sankirtan, anyone who sees him would get a special garland. The garland is called Namak Prema Mala. That they would get the garland of love of Godhead. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, anywhere he would see, anywhere he would dance, he would just transform just by a glance. That is the benediction, that is the power of Lord Chaitanya. And I was recently reading how that Mahaprabhu performed with all his devotees. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu engaged in cleaning the temple, the Gundicha temple, in order to make the temple very clean, very nice for the worship of Lord Jagannath. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, along with all his devotees, he cleaned multiple times, multiple times. And it is said that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the amount of dust that Mahaprabhu accumulated was, many times, the pile of dust was many times greater than all the other devotees put together. So Mahaprabhu very scrutinizingly cleaned. Sometimes he cleaned with what is it, broom. Sometimes he cleaned with water, and sometimes Chaitanya Mahaprabhu cleaned with his own tears. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu performed this amazing Leela. And after this Leela, because during this period of time, Lord Jagannath does not give darshan for like 2 weeks. So all the devotees, they were very much eager to see the face of Lord Jagannath. And it is mentioned that when Mahaprabhu and his devotees, when Jagannath gave darshan after 2 weeks, they became so eager that they ran to the room, uh, ran to the altar literally, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was like a bumblebee. He was licking the beauty of Jagannath, and it's mentioned that how as Mahaprabhu was seeing Jagannath's charm and beauty were increasing at every moment, and all the devotees were engaged in this festival of perpetual enjoyment by relishing the beauty of the face of Lord Jagannath. So this is very, very wonderful that this invokes the mood that just the beauty of the Lord, just to perceive the beauty of the Lord itself is a perfection in itself. And this verse is about that, about the beauty of the Lord. Our different descriptions are there, of course, in Srimad Bhagavatam, uh, beginning with the lotus feet. The lotus feet of the Lord have this special benediction that yesterday in the purport Prabhu was mentioning, that simply by chanting the holy name, one can be absorbed in the thought of the lotus feet. So the lotus feet of the Lord is very special. The lotus feet of the Lord actually uh, is imbued with actually uh, the mood of the gopis, because uh, the um, the dust from the land of Vrindavan, naturally, as Krishna is walking all around Vrindavan, his feet are smeared with the dust, uh, with the dust of Braja. And the dust of Braja, every particle of dust of Braja is permeated with the mood of the love of especially the gopis. So that particles of dust are eternally uh, at the lotus feet of the Lord. And that's why just by meditating on the lotus feet of the Lord, one can attain deep absorption in Krishna consciousness. And the toenails of the Lord are like jewels. And these toenails, by meditating on them, one's sins, one's offenses, one's sins will be destroyed. And it is said actually, the first canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, first and second canto, is actually the lotus feet of the Lord. And then Prabhupada mentioned that how Krishna's special feature is two things. Krishna has flute, Krishna plays flute, and Krishna wears peacock feather. Prabhupada says in Bhagavad Gita that one should not distract himself from this form of the Lord. And the beauty of the Lord, the beauty of the Lord's eyes, the beauty of the Lord's smile, this beauty is enhanced a million times by his qualities. So, just as the name of the Lord and the form of the Lord are not different, in the same way, the form is related to the qualities, and the qualities are related to the pastimes, or the form is related to the pastimes. Like His Holiness Sachidanand Maharaj said something really incredible. He said that Krishna has this incredible ability. Of course, he has infinite ability, that he has the ability to exhibit different forms to different devotees at the same time. And of course, different forms means different moods and different qualities also. Like when Krishna in the morning he gives darshan to all the Brajvasis. Then the gopis headed by Srimati Radharani, they see him as like just the entering, you can say, youthhood, like kishore, that kishore avastha. So Krishna displays that kind of mood and that kind of beauty, that kind of love. And at the same time, the cowherd boys, they actually see Krishna little younger, little more playful, little more very naughty. And they see, oh, this is my friend, this is my dear friend. And they see him, they are very eager to wrestle, to play hide and seek, to steal his lunch, etc., etc. And at the same time, when the elderly gopis headed by Yashoda, when they actually see the Lord, they see, oh, this is my baby. So there's a huge difference between a baby and like someone who is 16. So at the same time, Krishna is exhibiting these three forms to different devotees. That's Krishna's incredible personality. And yeah, very Lord's face is very beautiful and pleasing in attitude. So this beauty and Krishna being very pleased is related to he is always prepared to award benediction to them. And in the purport, Prabhupada says something even more wonderful, that one who is always ready to offer causeless mercy, one who is always ready to give causeless mercy to the devotees, which means that Krishna is always ready to help his devotees attain pure devotional service. That is the ultimate benediction in all the material and spiritual worlds. So Krishna is very, very merciful, and Krishna only sees the good. Krishna only sees the good. Like we know the example of Putana, the pastime of Putana, where Krishna only considered her mood. Although Krishna purified her by sucking her poison, sucking um, her life air, but Krishna awarded her that benediction, which means that Krishna is going to fulfill the mood of his devotee. And Krishna is very truthful, and Krishna is incredibly grateful. Krishna is very grateful. For the slightest service, Krishna never forgets. You see so many pastimes in Srimad Bhagavatam, how much Krishna is grateful. Of course, Indra is a uh, great personality and definitely is a wonderful devotee. But how much, although Indra did what he did, but how much Krishna still um, displayed his love and affection towards Indra. Uh, that's quite incredible. Even when Lord Brahma tested Krishna in this way, Krishna never stopped loving, Krishna never stopped. And it's quite interesting that Brahma, Lord Brahma, he felt so bad that he didn't recognize Krishna's position. So Lord Brahma appeared as Haridas Thakur. And Lord Brahma asked for this, that may I please be born in such a way, in such situation that I never become proud. And when he appeared as Brahma, Haridas Thakur, every day Lord Chaitanya would deliver food to Haridas Thakur personally. And when Haridas Thakur desired to leave this world, Lord Chaitanya became so. Lord Chaitanya said, how can I live? How can I exist without you? And Mahaprabhu took Haridas Thakur's body, of course. Mahaprabhu removed his chadar one time and showed Haridas Thakur that all the beatings that you have been subjected to, I covered your back with my back. And Mahaprabhu showed all the beatings. Haridas Thakur fainted. So Mahaprabhu, when Haridas Thakur left, he carried his body and danced like a mad person. Mad person. And then to, like top it off, after Haridas Thakur disappeared from this world, Lord Chaitanya personally went and begged with his showing his upper cloth and begged for prasadam for the disappearance festival. So to that level Mahaprabhu went. See how much grateful Lord is to his pure devotees. Lord Krishna is so merciful. There's an eternal competition between the pure devotees and the Lord. And of course, Srila Prabhupada says that his pure devotees always win. But at the same time, every devotee can appreciate this eternal competition and aspire to live in that competition, aspire to not compete with others, not compete with externals, but try to sacrifice everything to give pleasure to the Lord. एतां स आस्थाय परात्मनिष्ठम् अध्यासितं पूर्वतमैर्महर्षिभिः अहो तरिष्यामि दुरन्तपारं तमो मुकुन्दाङ्घ्रिणि सेवयैव. So this mood, when one actually has this mood of sacrificing everything for the pleasure of the Lord, then that mood, when that mood is expressed through sadhana, through seva, that mood actually will result in coming out of this material world, coming out of this material conception that I am a man, I'm a woman, I'm a this, I'm a that. That mood has to be cultivated within the heart. That I want to become a pure devotee and I want to live on that platform, that I can always sacrifice more and more for His pleasure, more and more for His pleasure. Actually, when one has that intense desire to please the Lord, that intense desire to serve the Lord, then that is the beginning of acting, thinking, feeling, willing according to Krishna's desire. And what happens when we think, feel, and will according to what Krishna wants? Then spiritual life becomes very blissful. Spiritual life becomes very wonderful. And one actually gets the taste of spiritual life. तत्तेऽनुकम्पा सुसमीक्षमाणो भुञ्जानयेद्वात्मकृतं विपाकम् हृद्वाग्वपुर्भिर्विदधन्नमस्ते जीवेत यो mukti sadaya bhak. Sorry, the last line is not exact. But what Lord Brahma is saying, with his mind, body, and words, when one has this desire to always give pleasure to the Lord, and whatever impediments that are coming in the way, he accepts them with a grateful heart, that no, that Krishna will deliver me, Krishna will save me, Krishna will give me that love accorded. So that is the goal of life. The goal of life is to become absorbed in pleasing Krishna, absorbed in serving Krishna, absorbed in making all sacrifices for Krishna. That is the goal of life. And that is eternity. That is the platform of the soul. And then on that platform, there's so many wonderful activities we can perform without any restriction. So in order to meditate on the Lord, in order to concentrate on the Lord, what is very important is that we have to hear. We have to hear not only about the Lord, but we have to hear about how the devotees, actually pure devotees, how they see the Lord. How they see the Lord. Like recently, the disappearance day of, appearance day of His Divine Grace Sri Bhaktivinoda Saraswati Thakur. So, on one hand, Bhaktivinoda Saraswati Thakur was very, very strict in all ways. Saraswati Thakur was very strict. On the other hand, Saraswati Thakur displayed this immense compassion, immense love, immense compassion for all the devotees, and immense love for the Lord. Immense love for the Lord. Like that pastime that I narrated on that day, that one day Saraswati Thakur was speaking to a group of scientists, a group of scholars actually. And as usual, Saraswati Thakur was speaking in a very scholarly, in a very scientific way. But then at one point, Saraswati Thakur somehow, by Radharani's compassion, by her mercy, Saraswati Thakur started saying that actually our line is very exalted. And he said that actually because our line goes through Srimati Radharani, through Lalita Devi, and then he used the word Ananga Manjari. Then when he said the word Ananga Manjari, then his eyes started pouring torrents of tears, and he started manifesting all the eight ecstatic transformations. And then Saraswati Thakur folded his hands and said that, please forgive me, I cannot speak anymore. And Saraswati Thakur went to his room and locked the door, and for 3 days he didn't come out for eating, for drinking, for anything for that matter. And the disciples could hear that Saraswati Thakur was crying and crying. So when we hear this, that how much love Saraswati Thakur has for the Lord, then we become very attracted. We become very hopeful that this is called real sacrifice. This is called real dedication. You know, Srila Prabhupada also, that many times Srila Prabhupada would chant Jayarada Madhav. Some devotees say that Prabhupada would, the devotees who are in front, Prabhupada would just like a syringe, Prabhupada would just like shower them with tears. And then Srila Prabhupada would just go into trance, and then Prabhupada would just say, chant Hare Krishna. Actually, one time Prabhupada was just speaking, I will end with this. Prabhupada was speaking to a group of, a group of devotees in the early days, 22nd Avenue, very few devotees. And one person asked about the six Goswamis. And then, one person asked about six Goswamis, and Prabhupada was speaking about six Goswamis, and Prabhupada was speaking about the mode of separation. Very casually, Prabhupada was speaking. And then when he started quoting the verses, he became so ecstatic, and Prabhupada became stamba. Stamba means like, this is one of the symptoms of ecstasy. So Prabhupada is very, very merciful, giving this love of Krishna at all times. And even these, sometimes when we hear these stories also of Srila Prabhupada, like Prabhupada was talking about the thief, talking about, if you see his audio content, some very nice stories, short stories, 2-3 minutes. It's very heart touching. Prabhupada has expressed his own. Sometimes if you see also in Krishna book, Prabhupada is reading Krishna book. Prabhupada is reading, and you can perceive that Prabhupada is crying when he's reading. So with that vision, with that mercy, when we look at Krishna, we want to serve Krishna and we want to give pleasure to Krishna. It's very, very, it's different. It's different. Like one time I was doing Aarti on the altar, and I still remember that famous bhajan, Prabhupada's favorite bhajan, Hari Hari Vifale. And Prabhupada was saying that famous line that Ha Ha Prabhu Nanda Sutta Vrishabhanu Sutta Yuta Karuna Karo Eva. And Prabhupada says that, O Lord of, O son of Maharaj Nanda, O daughter of King Vrishabhanu, please don't kick me away. And Prabhupada said that, wow, it was so powerful, so deep, so profound. So that is the goal of spiritual life, is to always absorb our heart, make our heart one with the mood of pure devotees who are always in this eternal competition with the Lord, that they're always trying to sacrifice more and more, and in return Krishna is also trying to sacrifice more and more. Their every single activity is on that platform. And that is their life, that is their mission, to spread that mood. That's why pure devotees, like Prabhupada says, pure devotees are always thinking how to expand the movement. Why? Because they're always trying to engage more and more souls, more and more paraphernalia to give pleasure to the world. And they have an infinite desire to actually serve and please the Lord. So we are part of such a incredible movement. So we're so fortunate if we can somehow have this mode of being the servant of the servant of servant of such great devotees, then then our life will be successful. Because Krishna fulfills the desire in the inner, in the core of his devotee's heart. Krishna never ever cheats his devotee. Krishna is very, very merciful. And Srila Prabhupada is very, very merciful. So this is what I wanted to speak today. Anyone has any question or comment? Online, anyone has any question or comment? Yeah, sorry, I just realized my video is turned off. So, yes, voice was on. Online, anyone has any question or comment?
The purpose of our life is to make sacrifices for Krishna. So, what is the secret to get spiritual strength to be able to make sacrifices?
Yeah, I think I myself don't make any sacrifices. Krishna knows that. But I think the source is to become very intensely attached to pure devotees of the Lord. We become very deeply attached to pure devotees, and we see how much pure devotees are sacrificing their everything. That's very attractive. That life of sacrifice is very, very attractive. Like Prabhupada's life is so attractive because Prabhupada at every moment is sacrificing. So, and like the compassion of these pure devotees is very, very attractive. Like I read one pastime, this one is Gopal Krishna Maharaj, that he went to meet one devotee, and that devotee, and I don't know how much service he was doing, but I mean it was present, the pastime was presented in such a way that that devotee was like simple devotee, a very wonderful devotee, but like a simple devotee. So Maharaj was appreciating so much, and actually, in order to see him, Maharaj had to travel a long distance. And at that time, Maharaj was taking a lot of medication also, because Maharaj was very sick because of initiating. So that devotee asked Maharaj, that, Maharaj, why you came so long and you're so sick also. Maharaj said, I just came to see you. And hearing that, the devotee was like in tears. So, starting with the compassion of these great pure devotees to serve the Lord. So when we become attracted to that, then we can become attracted to their mood of how they serve Krishna, how they love Krishna, and so that inspires sacrifice, because ultimately that's the only thing which we have in our life, is how much we sacrifice for Krishna, how much we try to please Krishna. Maybe nobody else recognizes it. I mean, nobody else may know about it, but we know, and Krishna knows very well. So, like for example, some days if someone is sick, someone has a headache, but they still attend Mangal Aarti, they still chant their rounds. Sometimes a thought may come, I don't like this. Why this devotee said like this to me? I want to speak back, but no, you tolerate. No, I should not do that. So Krishna is watching everything. So when we act in the proper way in order to please Guru and Krishna, then that's our only asset actually. That's our only asset. So when we want to act in that way, and when we are attracted by pure devotees, we want to act in that way. Because pure devotees are pure devotees, because there's no difference between what is inside and what is outside. And they're pure devotees because when nobody is there, nobody is watching, they're making that sacrifice. They're making that's why they're pure devotees. and they don't compromise, they don't. So when we become attracted to them and we pray to them, and actually Bhagavatam says, um, Guru Devatatma. So when one establishes Guru and pure devotees as his worshipful deity of the heart, then this kind of, this mood transfer happens. It's like Prabhupada is the best example, like how Prabhupada inspired so much sacrifice. Why? Because all the Prabhupada disciples, they made Prabhupada their life and soul. I mean, they didn't even know so much about Krishna, but how much love they had for Prabhupada, using that medium of their intense love for Srila Prabhupada and attached to Prabhupada, Prabhupada could transfer that. Prabhupada could make them do incredible things, which it is very difficult, according to Shastra, even after many, many years of sadhana, it's very difficult to attain that kind of absorption. Like Bhagavatam says, brahmacharya and so many things. But Prabhupada says the beauty is of Krishna consciousness is that in one stroke everything can be done. And what is that one stroke? Yasya deve parabhakti jatha devi tatha guru. It's like Dhruva also. He had that unflinching faith that this will give me Lord. This will give me darshan of the Lord. Why? Because Narad Muni said so. So he had that unflinching faith in Narad Muni. He did not have any doubt. So Prabhupada disciple did not have any doubt in what Prabhupada said. So Prabhupada could just use them like a toy, make them do incredible things, incredible sacrifices. And if you if you ask any Prabhupada disciples how they did it, they're like, well, I don't know how I did it. It's like it just happened. So like Gopal Krishna Maharaj one time was saying that how Sachidanand Maharaj was saying that Maharaj, how you built so many temples? He said, no, I didn't build them. That's the point. Prabhupada built them. So yeah, so that is that intense attachment, and there's no doubt about it also. Like whoever is doing incredible service, like Rishabh Prabhu also. The reason why they're able to do that kind of service, even though their body may give so many troubles, even though it's very difficult, is because they have attained that deep connection with a pure devotee. So when one is connected to a pure devotee, then they automatically they act with that mood, and it's everywhere. Like it's everywhere. It's not like only when they're doing deity worship, only when they're chanting, but it's everywhere. So that is how powerful is the mercy of a pure devotee. It's very, very powerful that it can make like Dhruva, best example, Dhruva is a young boy. According to any kind of estimation, it's impossible. There's no question of brahmachari, grahastha, or any question of varnashram, anything. Dhruva just put unflinching faith, he surrendered. That's it. He got everything. He got an intense lolium, intense greed, and that's it. There's nothing stopping him. Nobody, nothing stopping him. So that is the power of mercy, that mercy can. And that's a thing that Vyavasai has become buddhi, that one pointed focus. That is actually one pointed focus and one pointed enthusiasm. Like I need to do it at any cost. I need to. One time, Swami Gauravan Maharaj said that one should be prepared to make all sacrifices, take all risk for this one purpose, is to please the Lord. So yeah, it's pure devotee is very, very powerful. Prabhupada is very, very powerful. So this is what I heard. I'm just repeating. Okay, so we will end. It's already late, 9:13. Vanchakalpatarubhisya kripa sindhubhyev cha pantana pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo Ananta Koti Vaishnava Ji ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.